Alright, hello everyone and welcome to AEW Discussion. I'm your host and AEW enthusiast Dougie Doug. In today's episode I'm going to be discussing Dynamite Grand Slam Edition, September 20th, 2023. So, All Elite Wrestling will return to Arthur Ashe Stadium for the latest installment of Grand Slam, headlined by a world title defense. MJF taking on Samoa Joe. And also you had Saraya, John Moxley, and Claudio Castanelli defending their respective titles as well. And with that, we'll go ahead and get right into the action, starting with the title for title match, Ring of Honor and New Japan Strong title on the line. Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castanelli. And Kingston would finally win the big one here. Dynamite Grand Slam kicked off with Kingston throwing Castanelli in a red-hot, high-stakes match and saw him not only retain his IWGP Strong title, but win the Ring of Honor World Championship. This was a great showcase for the hometown guy who was scratched and claws at the top of AEW, only to be knocked down by the closest of defeats. Here, he finally wins a world title and in the process earns a victory over a guy that he's historically struggled against. A sign of respect for the competitors after the match was a nice end to a great opener that had fans behind Kingston and invested not only in this match but in his pursuit for a world title. There are moments that are easy booking decisions, and this was one of them, so credit to Tony Khan for doing the right thing and giving Kingston this moment that he has more than earned. Now, it's not the AEW world title, but let's not devalue the Ring of Honor world title. It's still a world title, so gotta give it to Kingston for that one. Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho may have won the battle here at Grand Slam, but Sammy Guevara with Don Callis might be winning the war following what happened after the match. So Jericho would get the win in this match, but after the match Guevara would tease showing some respect to Jericho before pulling a page from his mentor's book and kicking him low. It was followed by the rival Callis and then Guevara exiting with him. That was a noteworthy development. Callis got one over on Jericho again, presumably convincing Guevara to betray him and join the Don Callis family. It was an important development that propels the story forward and gives fans a reason to fully invest in Jericho as a good guy. The match was good, continuing a recent string of strong in-ring outings for Jericho and delivering another shining moment for Guevara. So very curious to see what the follow-up is to this, and also what role will Daniel Garcia play in it as well, because he certainly seemed to object to what had happened. AEW International Championship match, Ray Phoenix versus John Moxley. And last time Phoenix was in the ring with Moxley, he left the arena on a stretcher, which forced him to miss All In. And at Grand Slam, Phoenix would get his revenge, pinning Moxley to win the International Championship after driving Moxley to the mat with two Phoenix drivers. The second one, he literally spiked on his head. Now, this match was not up to the level of the previous encounters, but it was still a strong, wrestled strong and featured a great performance from an intense Phoenix. There will be questions about the health of Moxley after the match. Apparently he was not able to kick out, and Excalibur mentioned a scary moment in the closing moments of the match before revealing once the show came back from break that Moxley was able to exit under his own power. So the outcome is improvised or carbonated injury, that's one thing. But if Phoenix was the intended victory, then that's just a poor booking decision that devalues the main event of All Out and Moxley ending Orange Cassidy's title reign. Don't get me wrong, Phoenix will be a fine champion. He'll produce strong matches. I have no doubt of that. But it suddenly looks as though there's going to be no follow-up to Cassidy's reign concluding. So who knows what? I guess, the internet will tell what exactly happened. Internet has a way of finding these things out. We'll find out if Phoenix was the intended victor or if this was just an improvised moment. If I had to guess, probably improvised, but I guess we'll see. But again, Phoenix will make for a fine champion. So, AEW World Championship match, MJF versus Mojo, and MJF proved resilient throughout his defense against Mojo, just long enough for Adam Cole to make his presence felt and help him will out the cocaine and clutch and provide him a steel chain that helped him choke out the title and retain the title. So MJF has been proven himself since partnering with Adam Cole. He's been proving himself to be one of the best good guys in AEW. He took a beating in this match but refused to give up. He fought through the pain, fueled by his desire to remain champion in his home state crowd, and by hook or crook wins the match, keeps his title reign intact. So the outcome stays true to MJF's preference for underhand tactics, despite his current role, and it also protects the unstoppable aura of Joe. It also continues the friendship between the Bochatos and ensures their story will continue to be a key part of AEW programming going forward. They are scheduled to defend the Ring of Honor World title or Ring of Honor tag titles at Wrestle Dream against a team to be determined, but considering the Kingdom is involved in the match to crown the new contenders, it's probably going to be the Kingdom. This was a strong main event performance from the company's MVP and World Champion and MJF, and another solid outing for Joe, who is one of the best bad guys in AEW. So in conclusion, this was an episode of Dynamite full of big moments and title changes. Kingston winning the Ring of Honor title, Guevara's turn, Phoenix defeating Moxley, Saraya retaining her gold, and MJF slaying the beast of the Mojo helped make this a noteworthy show that might not have been the spectacle that Grand Slam was 2 years ago, but it still was a broadcast deserving of the hype, deserving of the stage that is Grand Slam. Wrestle Dream is coming up, so in a way, Wrestle Dream kind of does hurt the long-term impact of this broadcast to an extent. But the company did a strong job here making this show feel like a marquee event. Strong in-ring action across the board is also going to help with that. And with that, I will conclude this episode of AEW Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.